There was an old man who lived at the edge of a quiet village, where the wind whispered through the trees, and the sun painted the sky with gentle light every morning. His hair was white, his beard full, and his glasses reflected a world he had seen countless times, yet always with wonder. Every day, without fail, he would sit under the same ancient tree. Some villagers passed by, seeing only a man who did nothing, but he was doing everything. He was tending to his mind, planting seeds of thought, nurturing habits no one could see, preparing for a life of quiet strength. One morning, a young boy wandered near the tree. Curious, impatient, and full of restless energy, he watched the old man in silence for several moments before finally speaking. "Why do you sit here every day?" he asked, his voice tinged with frustration. "Does it even matter?" The old man smiled, a small, knowing smile. He turned to the boy, his eyes calm, patient. "My boy," he said softly, "what you see is stillness, is movement of the soul. Each day I train my mind, quietly, patiently. Discipline is not a sudden flame. It is the slow, steady growth of a tree, unseen but powerful." The boy frowned. "I don't understand. How can sitting here, doing nothing, change anything?" The old man gestured to the horizon. The sun rose slowly, painting the sky with soft oranges and pinks, light spilling into the shadows. "Do you see that light?" he asked. "It rises little by little, slowly, almost imperceptibly, and yet over time it transforms the darkness into warmth, the cold into life. Discipline is like this light. One small choice, repeated every day, builds a life that even the sun cannot outshine." The boy sat down beside him, unsure but curious, and in the quiet he began to notice things he had never seen: the gentle sway of the branches, the rustle of leaves, the distant song of a bird. Each small detail seemed to carry a lesson about patience, attention, and presence. Days passed, weeks passed. The boy returned each morning, trying to imitate the old man. At first, it felt meaningless. Thoughts wandered, distractions came, and doubts grew. But slowly, almost imperceptibly, change began. His mind became quieter. His heart felt steadier. His fear of failure softened. One misty morning, he finally asked, "Do you really think this works? Just sitting here, every day?" The old man looked at him, eyes gentle but certain, like someone who had lived these lessons for decades. "It always works, not because it is easy, not because it is exciting, but because it is patient. Because small, consistent actions, repeated daily, are stronger than bursts of energy that fade. This is how a life is built, quietly, deliberately, like roots growing beneath the soil." The boy nodded slowly. He felt a warmth spread inside him, subtle but undeniable. He understood that discipline was not punishment. It was care. It was love for oneself. It was planting the seeds today that would bloom tomorrow. And so, the boy began to walk his own path, step by step, choosing clarity over chaos, purpose over distraction, small acts over fleeting excitement. Every morning he returned to the tree, not just to imitate, but to feel the rhythm of his own growth. Years later, he would remember the old man's words not as advice, but as truth carved into his mind. Tend your mind like a garden. Nurture your habits like roots. One day at a time, and you will grow stronger than you ever imagined. Because discipline, he learned, was not a burden. It was freedom. Freedom to think clearly. Freedom to act purposefully. Freedom to become who you were meant to be. And in the quiet, under the gentle light of the morning, the boy, now grown, understood that the greatest power was not in force, not in speed, but in the steady, unyielding consistency of daily discipline. Remember, your mind is like this tree. Tend it carefully. Choose small actions every day, and one day you will stand tall, rooted in clarity, strength, and purpose.